Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Keanu Benton breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. You look at this Steeler defense. You know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Here's Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. This defense for the Steelers, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Oh, come on.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Now it's Wilson. Short pass to Howard. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action. It's Fields. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a first down. Now a give, running left is Harris. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Steelers at 3-0 here in the month of September, and they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. When you look at this Bronco defense, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Here is 3rd down and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. See if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Wilson. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 26 big yards on that one. It's another 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He will push his way down to about the 14. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Third and 8. Now it's Fields. Flush to his right. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Justin Fields with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Second and 10. Throwing is Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And the Steelers are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run again with Harris. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded at the 43. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Christian Watson, 83 yards. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
Wilson now to throw on third down. He's going to go up top again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in by Watkins here.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Off play action, Fields.
And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Running left, it's Warren.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. On play action, Fields. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Looking to throw on second down, Fields. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, it's Fields. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 55 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. They're going to run it with Harris. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Wilson. Yeah, that will be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's another carry for Harris. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap, Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Flushed out right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 40. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Fields. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Fields now to throw. Past the 20. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Bronco defense comes up big. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patrick.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And it's caught. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. To throw is Wilson. And this one complete again to Mims. So no gain on the play, and it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he brings this
This one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two.
Angel. You got a mini base. Why not?
They're going to run it with Harris. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for two more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Second down and 8.
Good job right there.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And this offense on 3rd down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now Wilson on first down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Harris running straight ahead. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. A handoff for Warren.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here we go, son.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. That is caught and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point now by Boswell. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time.